Alright, let's talk about death, people. What's so scary about it? I mean, seriously. You come here, I shouldn't really say come, you are here. This is stated, we are here on this planet. You die after you live a certain amount of perceptive time. I mean, you're not special, you try and do what you can for the society that you live in. And whatever you try to make it out to be is what it is. I mean, I like to quote, I believe it's Mark Twain, who said, "I do not fear death, for I had been dead for millions and millions of years before my birth, and not suffered in the slightest." Of course, he was dead for approximately an infinite amount of time, if you really wanted to call it that type of time, an infinite spectrum space in that way, before his actual birth. But that's another video if you guys want to watch in-depth reality. But death is not something you should really fear. It's not something you should look forward to, but it's not something you should fear to the point that you create things like, I don't know, the afterlife. It's a lot better to live a life in which there's no afterlife, because this is all you got. If I spent my whole life looking forward to some afterlife where I get to live forever, then I wouldn't give a shit about this life, regardless of what kind of life it was afterwards. Actually, I take that back. I wouldn't want to burn in a hell forever, but I also wouldn't want to worship at the feet of some white-haired moron for the rest of eternity. Both of those sound equally painful, and I don't really like gold that much as far as streets. Seems like it'd be really shiny and they'd be too malleable. I mean, cars would drive on them and you'd have potholes in no time. Not to mention all the thievery. Oh yeah, but it's supposed to be perfect up there. I wonder how they achieved this perfect society. I don't know, maybe the loss of free will. But who am I kidding? It doesn't exist anyways. So it really beckons the question, why are people afraid of death? It's not so much that they're afraid, it's just that they don't want to lose what they have. People don't want to grow older, they don't want to do the things that they do in life. People didn't grow older, I'm sure people would wish to grow older. It's always people wishing for what they can't possibly have. And I'm not saying it's not impossible to live forever, I'm sure it is in some way, if you really wanted to go through all the science to do so. Some way to get your DNA to copy correctly, perfectly every time, nanotechnology. Or perhaps copying it over to a computer, your existence, your being, your mind, whatever. Even then it's still a copy, and that's proposed in one of the Amazing Atheist videos as to it being a copy, a whole other entity. I haven't really delved into that whole entity spectrum to see if you would indeed still have the same perspective, your perspectives from your body into that one. But it seems, I don't know, unlikely. Although it's still a neat idea, and I would not mind having a computer copy of myself. You give me someone to talk to. Yeah, that sounds like I don't have anyone to talk to. Well, I do talk to people, but talking to myself would be amazing if I could answer myself. Which I do anyways, but it'd be nice to have an actual voice and an auditory sense so I don't look crazy while I'm doing it. But yeah, it won't happen for a little while longer. I would say another 5-10 years until the computers surpass the capacity of the human brain. Then things would be pretty amazing. But death is not something you should fear. It's basically like what you remember before you were born. You know that? That whole blankness, that's what it's like in death. I mean, if you're looking at it from a realist point of view, as knowing what we know is real, and not all that bullcrap about the afterlife, then that's all you can come up with, is that life is just what is after life is basically what was before you were born. What you remember then. That's your ceaseness of existence. Coming into existence is just as easy as going out of it. Well, somewhat. Depends on how you die. But that's something completely different. That could be another entire video series. Strange waves of dying. Perhaps I should just read off the Darwin Awards. Speaking of which, my birthday is on February 12th. Anybody want to wish me a happy birthday, go ahead. It'd be pretty amazing. My birthday also coincides with Charles Darwin, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, and a few other people I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. That's pretty much it about death. It's not always a topic I like to focus on, but it's part of something that people worry about sometimes. Whether or not they worry about it constantly and methodically, or just worry about it every now and then, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just part of it. I mean, unless you guys really want to help me get this live forever science through, which I'm not sure that that's a good idea exactly. But if I do end up living forever, I will never tell you guys, because you'll want whatever I have, and then I'm not going to give it to you, because you can't have more than one immortal. Actually, me and whoever else I want to be immortal. That means you better comment my videos and rate them with 5 stars, or else you won't live forever. Quite deep. Alright. Anyways, this is justinatorator.